going to talk about a number of different things today, but we ask that everyone put yourselves on mute. We have about a 15-20 minute presentation that I'm going to go through on the island, and then we're going to have Luis, who's going to talk us through all the amenities of the Ritz Carlton of Abama, one of the top rated hotels, not only on the island of Tenerife, but throughout Spain and Europe. Why don't we get started? What you're looking at here is the southern part of the island, and it is an area called Los Gigantes. It's very volcanic, and my elevator pitch for you and your clients in terms of why to go to Tenerife is very simple, and it says this. Imagine the volcanic landscapes like you see here of the island of Maui with the high-end resorts and boardwalks and five-star amenities, combined with the culture, gastronomy, and Spanish colonial feel of Barcelona, combined with the white and black sand beaches, uh, luscious parks, national parks, both marine and volcanic national parks of Costa Rica. And that is what you have on the island of Tenerife. All that is very accessible to anyone from North America. It's an easy way to get there is either through Madrid or through any other points of connectivity. And we're going to get through this in a few seconds. A little bit about today's session. We're going to talk about what is Tenerife, where to go, where are the highlights, what are the best types of activities that you can do on the island. Then we'll talk with Luis. Luis will walk us through the Ritz Carlton Abama, and then we'll open it up to Q&A, and finally open it up to next steps with regard to anyone who might be interested in applying for a fan trip that we have coming this November. What you're looking at here is the Orotava Valley. The Orotava Valley and Mount Teide in the background. Now, the highlight and the crown jewel of the island is Mount Teide, and it is a 13,000 foot high volcano that is the tallest mountain in Spain. It's a national park that's one of the largest national parks in Spain. And the reason it is so special is because it has a number of different activities that you can do on the park that we'll talk through. As I mentioned, the Canary Islands are part of Spain. They are located west of the coast of Morocco, about 80 miles west of Morocco. And Tenerife is the biggest of the 7 Canary Islands. And many people on the island say it is not only the biggest, but it has a little bit of the best of all of the other islands within the Canaries. You can connect there through 2 airports. There are 2 airports on the island, one in the north, which is code TFN, and there is another airport, which is the international airport for TFS, that is connected to 150 different points of connectivity throughout Europe. So if you have clients that are traveling in Europe, in Great Britain, going through London, Paris, Amsterdam, anywhere in Spain, there are not only daily flights, but in some cases from Madrid, hourly flights that provide easy access into the island. It is an island of about 1 million inhabitants, but the island gets 6 million inhabitants, 6 million travelers every year, most of which are Spanish. The island also gets a lot of travelers from the UK, so that's nice because most of the people on the island speak English. The island gets a lot of French, a lot of Germans, and it has a very sophisticated infrastructure, both land infrastructure, medical infrastructure, and highway infrastructure as well. Now, what is there to do on the island? Well, of course, because they call it the Island of Eternal Spring, there are beautiful beaches year-round, and it is between 70 degrees to 79 degrees year-round from January all the way through December. There is no rainy season, there is no hurricane season, there is no monsoon season. The island has a very temperate climate all year round. and very diverse climate, sometimes between the north and the south, that usually gets all the sunshine, as you can see here. Most of the beaches on the south are white sand beaches, and most of the beaches on the north are black sand beaches. And it's really interesting because the island is almost composed of two sections. The north has old towns, colonial communities like the UNESCO World Heritage Site of La Laguna, um, which is the town on which the city of Havana and in Cuba and Santiago in Chile were based off of, because it was the last port of call when the Spanish settlers used to go back and forth between the New World. So the island is very rich with history and with culture, and the south is much more arid and much more dry, and that's where a lot of the higher end new resorts um, such as the Ritz Carlton, Abama, are mostly located. What you're looking at here is at the top of the volcano, and you can go into the national park. It's about an hour and a half drive into the national park that takes you up to about a 9,000-foot elevation. From there, there is a tram that takes you to the very summit, as you can see here. And what you're looking at is what they call the Sea of Dreams, and the shadow of the Mount Teide, which is a volcano that is overlooking the other Canarian islands. And this is something that you can do with your clients, bring them up, organize an activity where they can celebrate with a champagne toast and do afterwards some special stargazing. But as they ascend and go through the national park, what's very unique is that there are more than 800 species of unique fauna and flora in the national park, as you can see here. And these are 6 foot high flowers that come in red, in white, and other colors, and are quite phenomenal. And of course, because the island is in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and does not have any light pollution. It is home to two solar observatories, one for NASA and one for the European Space Observatory, both of which you can visit in the national park. And then there are activities and excursions that we can provide and guide you with regarding stargazing. And it is well known that the island is one of the best places in the world to stargaze. And this is not a photoshopped file. This is an actual picture, an image, and as you can see, the constellations and the galaxies that you can see, you really can't see anywhere else on Earth. Um, the island is also home to the #1 water park in the world. So if you have clients that are interested in family travel or intergenerational travel, multi-generational travel, the CM Park has been rated as the #1 water park in the world for the last 2 or 3 years by TripAdvisor. The owner of this park also has another park called Loro Park, located on the northern part, which has been rated the #1 zoo in the world, ahead of the San Diego Zoo last year by TripAdvisor. And he also has another resort that's a very famous spa and a top spa, as is the Ritz Carlton Abama. There are also great activities for whale watching. The island is surrounded by very deep water, so the pilot whales, the 24 species of pilot whales and dolphins, are not migratory. They're year-round. So you can go 5, 10 minutes out with a boat ride or do a catamaran cruise and see all these native inhabitants of the island. And of course, the island has all of the different adventure sports activities that you would expect of an island that brings in 6 million travelers a year. So there is paragliding, there is diving, there's some great dives both on the north and the southern part of the island, and lava tubes, underwater lava tubes as well. There's also kite surfing. There are, in the area that we saw when we started the presentation, Los Gigantes, which are these gigantic cliffs that are actually just next to the Ritz-Carlton Abama, not very far. You can go and explore those by boat. You can explore them by kayak, or you can explore them by paddleboard, as you can see there. And it is one of the top excursions also to do on the island. And in the northern part of the island, you have other types of unique fauna and flora. And this is an area called the Taganana National Forest, where you can see it's almost a Jurassic-like combination of rhododendron trees and giant ferns that are also amazing to witness. There are more than 8 different golf courses on the island, all of which have a unique style in that they have incorporated on the island the history of the banana plantations that were built with black lava terraces all throughout the island, and that's quite unique. And there's, again, at the Ritz Carlton Abama, Luis will talk to the course there. And this is as I mentioned, the UNESCO World Heritage Site of La Laguna. That is a great place to visit for an afternoon. It's a university town. It's right by the airport on the northern part of the island. And it has a fantastic town square where you can participate in a number of different activities. And in fact, the island is also home to the second largest carnival in the world behind Rio de Janeiro. And this is the Carnival Queen from about 3 years ago, because the local designers and artists come together and create very ornate dresses. And at the end of the 7-day festival, some lucky lady wins and is crowned the Carnival Queen. But there are also, throughout the rest of the year, other festivals that take place. From June through September, there are these festivals that take place every Saturday called uh, it escapes me right now. Luis, what are these called? The La Romerias, are they?
Romerias, exactly, Cyril.
Exactly. Thanks for the pronunciation. So the Romerias are where in each Saturday everyone gets dressed in local Canarian dress here, as you can see, and do dances and songs, uh, and they also do sand art. And using the different types of sand from the volcano, they create these giant murals in the middle of the town squares. The capital of the island is a town called Santa Cruz, and this is the amphitheater in Santa Cruz. The island is home to many, many, many different conference centers, and it can handle very large meetings and incentive plans if you do have clients that are like that. There are various types of convention halls. And one of the other draws of the island is that because it has a combination of the southern Spanish tapas combined with the Peruvian and South American flavors based on the heritage, the food is outstanding. And there are cheeses, there are honeys, there are unique sauces like they call the red mojo sauce and the green mojo sauce, which are often eaten with the local potatoes that they grow on the island. And it's really a culinary delight for people who enjoy those types of flavors. Many, many different seaside restaurants. We definitely encourage American travelers to go out and explore the island. And there are also wineries. There are multiple wineries and dominaciones throughout the island. There is a Listan Bianco, which is a white wine, as you can see here, that is a very crisp. It's a little bit of a Pinot Grigio with a Sauvignon Blanc mix, and the red is a little bit more hardy with a Grenache, Syrah blend, Tempranillo style blend almost. Um, we are here to assist all of the travel agents. So we do provide travel agent commissions, and we can provide as well a number of different recommended itineraries and excursions. Either if you have clients that are looking to extend their trip in Europe and have a 4-day getaway, but in reality, the island, even though it's a small island that only takes about an hour and a half to get from the north to the south, there are more activities than you can choose from over a 7 to 9 day vacation. And now I'm going to turn it over to you, Luis, who is the sales manager at the Ritz Carlton Abama. And take it away, Luis.
Thank you very much, Cyril. Thank you very much for your kind introduction and welcome
We're getting a
all
little
of
bit
you.
of a feedback here.
Feedback now it sounds better.
Now that sounds better, yes.
That sounds much better. Well, like I was saying, Cyril, thank you very much for your kind introduction, and thank you to all of you for taking this time to discover the beautiful island of Tenerife, which I, like Cyril just mentioned, we are the island of the 10 screen, and I really think we are an island not yet discovered for the American market. So we're really looking forward to welcome all of you. Cyril has introduced the island perfectly. You know what you can do around the island, but let me suggest you the best place where your or your clients can stay around. Welcome to the Ritz Carlton, Abama. As you see in the picture, we are front faced with the
Luis,
Gomera
I'm
Island.
getting, I'm going to pause you for a second. We're getting some feedback. I think we're probably getting some feedback from some other people. Can you try talking closer to the mic a little bit, to the microphone?
Just right there, and I'm
That's
trying to
much
talk as
better.
low as possible.
That's
That's
much
better?
better. That's much better. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Cyril. Like you have seen, we are front face with the Gomera Island. That was the last island Christopher Columbus were in Europe before he discovered the New World. Okay, so like Cyril said, we are an island with a lot of history, with a lot of culture, and culinary. This is also one of our unique points. Thank you, Cyril. Next. Well, as Cyril has mentioned, we're very well connected to Madrid, Barcelona, London, Frankfurt, also any German cities. Main airlines to come to Tenerife are British Airways, Iberia, which is the Spanish carrier, Vueling, and Europa, which are other two Spanish carriers. I really suggest you to book your tickets when you come down to Tenerife to take TFS, which is our South Airport, which we are like 20 minutes away from the international airport. Thank you. Next. Thank you, Cyril. Well, here you have a picture of the island, the shape of the island of Tenerife. You see we are located on the southwest coast. And you see a picture on the right-hand side. We are really a destination by ourselves. We are surrounded by banana plantations. That is something very unique that nowhere else in the world your guests will find it. We have a quite big, large property. We have 2 miles of property. One of the reasons why we have such a big landscape is because we have a golf course. We have a private golf course, 18 holes, where your clients can enjoy a perfect session of golf. Thank you, Cyril. And now we're going to talk a little bit about accommodation. Of course, everything under the name, under the brand, under the quality of service of the Ritz Carlton properties. We can offer deluxe rooms. This is the lowest category we can offer. We're talking about 50 square meters living useful area room. When I say 50 square meters living useful area, we're not counting the size of the terrace. All of our rooms, they have beautiful terrace facing the Atlantic Ocean or our beautiful gardens. Thank you, Cyril. Our next category you can find at the junior suites, starting from 70 square meters living useful area. Thank you, Cyril. And also with beautiful terrace. And our next category will be one bedroom suite starting from 90 square meters living useful area. And of course, for families, we have 8 different family suites, okay, that are made of a combination of 2 bedroom suites located in the Persian Garden. This is a perfect area for families. Thank you, Cyril. This is how it looks like, the 2 bedroom family suites that we have created this product on last year. They are perfect for families. And of course, like any Ritz Carlton around the world, we have a club level where we have 19 deluxe rooms and 2 suite rooms facing the Atlantic Ocean, and of course the club level lounge where you can have breakfast and you can have snacks all day around. Thank you, Cyril. Another type of accommodation that we have for people who really wants to get away, to get lost from the everyday work, we have a concept that we call Villas Tagore. This is an adults-only product. You need to be 18 years or above to go to the Villa Tagore. You have exclusive breakfast area and one of our top restaurants, which is Mirador, facing always the Atlantic Ocean. Private booking, personal assistant from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the afternoon, exclusive pool bar drinks around the day, snacks around the pool, Nespresso machines and kettles in the room. This is how it looks like, our Tagore Villa Deluxe room, which is beautiful. And here we're gonna talk a little bit more about our swimming pools. Our property has in total 8 different swimming pools, all of them with sweet water. And during our winter time is we can get temperatures, let's say nearly the 60s. That would be in 3 o'clock in the morning. So we can heat the water all day for our guests that are coming in our winter time.
And Luis, if I remember, right behind that tidal pool there, in that infinity pool, there are tidal pools along the water that you can visit, are there not?
Exactly. That is something very typical in the Canary Island, especially in Tenerife, that we have something that is called the natural swimming pools. There is rocks that have created the shape of our like a swimming pool. So when the tide goes up, fills them up with water, and when the tide goes down, remains the water, and actually you can have a natural swimming pool.
Yeah, great.
Thank you, Cyril. And of course, in our citadels, we have family pools, especially with play games, okay, for the kids. And we also look after the kids during the day in the pool. The infinity pool, that's right next to the Mirador restaurant, where the people of Tagore Villas, they can have their breakfast. As you can see, stunning views and a great infinity pool. We're gonna talk now about our beach, okay, which is called the Abama beach. Please bear in mind that in Spain, all the beaches are public, and we make this beach. We brought the sand from the Mauritania desert and also from Fuerteventura, which is another island nearby. So there will be nowhere else in the world where your clients can have a golden sand beach like this one. Gastronomy. I think gastronomy is one of our unique selling points. In total, in property, we have 10 restaurants. We are the only hotel in Spain with 3 Michelin stars in property that I will mention in just a minute. For example, for lunch, they can enjoy a great lunch in our beach club or our clubhouse in the golf course, El Mirador restaurant, where we have local fish, seafood. So if you want to have like a very nice paella, restaurant El Mirador is the place to go. At Los Chozos, it's a poolside snacks and drinks during the daytime. Thank you, Sunil. For dinners, we have created last year a new concept that we call it 2020. That's our steakhouse. Is called because it's 20 different cuts of meat and 20 different selections of wine. Also, we have our fine Italian cuisine restaurant, Verona, Mirador restaurant, like it also opens for dinner, and the Choco restaurant. Choco restaurant is under the name of Mr. Martin Berasategui. He's the most awarded chef in Spain with a total of 8 Michelin stars. And this is the place where you guests can really taste and have the Spanish flavor with a great quality of products. And here we have, like we said here, our babies. This is the MB restaurant. MB stands for Martin Berasategui. This is our 2 Michelin star restaurant and only opens for dinners. And our 1 Michelin star restaurant is the Abama Kabuki restaurant, specialized in Japanese cuisine with a fusion with Canarish culture. Of course, different selections of bars around the property. You have our lobby bar and of course our sport bar. And going back talking about the kids, please bear in mind that we have a great program created by Jean-Michel Cousteau, especially for the Ritz Carlton hotels. And as you can see, the Ritz Kids, it looks stunning and wonderful. Thank you. Of course, also we do have spa. We have 2,500 square meters of spa facilities. We can create any type of packages, and with the room rate, you are entitled to use our gymnasium 24 hours a day along your stay. Last but not least, also we have a tennis academy. We have 7 tennis courts, same surface as the US Open. This tennis academy is run by Annabel Craft. She was a very famous British tennis player. And of course, like I did mention in the beginning, we have a private 18-hole golf course. This golf course was designed by Dave Thomas, was a British player, and it's a par 72. It's our golf course. It's not public, it's private, so your guests, they will have the first choice to take any flight times to play golf. And for any one of you who are interested in our property for meetings and events, please bear in mind that we have 1,500 square meters on meeting facilities that we can break those down up to 10 different salons. Of course, we are ready for any car launches, any heavy material, and everything under the brand of Ritz Carlton. Thank you. Outdoors catering, of course, this is one of our also unique selling points, because one of the reasons we think that your clients are going to come to Tenerife, first of all, because of the destination, and of course, because of the good weather, we try to do as many things outside for our groups, like doing beach parties, or of course, we also very good at doing weddings. And at the beginning, I did mention that our property is quite big. It's a 2 miles property. And this is the way how we move our guests along the property. We have 2 trains of 40 seaters that during the day, they're doing shuttle service to take our guests anywhere around our property. For groups, you will have it on private basis to take your delegates anywhere around our property. And of course, we have, for the people who book suites, we have the option of boogie and go, so they can have the private owned boogie during the stay. For the way they can move around our property.
So thank you very much, Luis. That was absolute. Can you unmute? Perfect. So thank you very much. That's outstanding. Outstanding property for any of you who have clients that are looking for ultra luxury, beautiful destination with magnificent views. Look no further than the Ritz Carlton Abama. And you can get more information about this property not only on the Ritz Carlton website, but you can also visit us at www.traveltotenerife.com. That is our website for the United States. It has practical information, and it is also where you can sign up to go to our fam trip. And just go to www.traveltotenerife.com/fam trip, and the application will be there effective today. And the trip is for November 5th through 9th. You can learn more about that fam trip at that location. So now we're going to open it up to questions and answers. If you have any questions, please type them into the chat window. And the first question we have from Mary Beth is there service on the beach? Yes, there is service on the beach. Luis, do you want to talk to that? I'm going to unmute you. Do you want to talk to the services that are available on the beach?
Of course, we do have during the day in our beach. I mean, we can take cold drinks and snacks to your sunbeds.
Yeah, it's and until the is it until 7 p.m. that you usually start picking stuff?
Approximately, yeah, normally during our winter time until like 5, 6 p.m. But now that we have summertime, we can stay there until like 7, 8 o'clock at night. Yes.
And if I remember, it's overlooking a perfect sunset right over the neighboring island of La Gomera. Quite stunning.
Beautiful, beautiful. The best sunsets I have ever seen in my entire life. They're here in Tenerife, facing the Gomera Island.
So another question that just came through is, can you talk about the rental car and how easy it is to get around the island? So yes, Luis, I'll hand that over to you if you can.
Yes, probably my pleasure. Yeah, there are several different international rental car companies. So you have different brands. So you will be having no problem to find a good rental car. The island, like you said at the beginning of the introduction, is not a very big island. So you can go around the island in a daytime. In one day, you can just drive around the island. But you can rest assured there are many major rental car companies, and even though we have one local company here in property, so you can book your car here.
Great. Another question that just came through, Luis, and again, I'll hand this one to you, but you might have a separate answer, is can you go swimming all year round?
All year around. You can go swimming all year round in our beautiful ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and of course in our swimming pools because they are heated in our winter.
Okay, because the water in the winter, the Atlantic Ocean in the winters, I mean, it's swimmable, but it is also very refreshing, I think.
Exactly. We stayed here. We do have a lot of Swedish people that are coming down in winter, and Russian people, and those are the ones who you see them swimming. Local people like me, I mean, you need to throw me in the water, okay? Because at the time of the year, I will never get into the water.
Okay. Another question came through from Tara. How
Yeah.
should guests plan on spending time in the north versus the south? That's actually a very good question. Do you want to take that?
That's Yeah, it's okay, but you can give me a hand also if you want to know. Everything regarding culture-wise in the island is everything is in the north of the island. Okay, so if you will really want to have like a very good shot of culture of La Laguna, like you mentioned, Orotava, Puerto de la Cruz, also the capital Santa Cruz, I think you need to spend approximately one day just to have a full flavor of the Tenerife culture. And actually, the south, that's where you will come just for rest.
Exactly. I would agree. I mean, the north really, it requires a full day to visit the town of La Laguna and Orotava and Chico, which is a fabulous little
Great.
village that it has a really a tremendous amount of charm. And there are also some other activities if you're interested in checking out the lava tubes. There's a place north of on the northern part of the island called Ico de los Vinos. Sorry for my pronunciation, Luis, where you
It's
can
great.
go and enter the lava tube with a guide, and it is quite an educational experience for anyone that is interested in geology or an educational experience with your family members. Um,
Exactly. And like you did mention, sorry to interrupt you, sorry, the stargazing, go up to the mountain Teide. I think like around 5 years ago, the island of La Palma, which is another island very close here, it was competing against Chile to host the most powerful telescope around the world because we have one of the areas with the less luminic contamination. So you will find, I mean, stargazing is really an amazing activity to do.
okay, a couple other questions that have come through. What is the average temperature in the winter? So as I
In,
mentioned, it's pretty much the
in
same
the,
temperature year round, right, Luis? 70 to 70.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, because like you mentioned, we are the island of the Tenerife Spring, so we have an average temperature all year round about 70 degrees.
Yeah, I have personally been on the island 4 times. I've been there in January, I've been there in July, I've been there in April, and I've been there in November. and
Mhm.
it's been pretty much the exact same temperature, a little bit nicer weather and hotter weather in July, but it's very difficult to tell the difference. And year round, it's a
Exactly.
fabulous destination. Again, which is why it's one of the top destinations for the Europeans, and why we're trying to spread the word out among the American community of travel agents and travelers out there. Uh, one
Exactly.
other question. One other question has come through, and then I think we're going to wrap up. Do we have to have at least $1 million in sales to be eligible for the FAM trip? The answer to that is yes. We do have a lot of people interested in the FAM trip, obviously. So that is one of the requirements. We encourage you to apply, and we will certainly keep information for future uh, fam trips that we have, because obviously everyone who registers gets preference, but obviously we're trying to get the word out with the larger agencies. And one other question from an agent who has a serious whale chaser. Are there
Mhm.
best times of the year to see whales? I
To be
can't.
honest with you, any time of the year, because the whales they live between the island of Tenerife and La Gomera.
Right. They live there year round. So pretty much any time of the year you're going to be able to see them, which is another really top attraction. It's a 2 or 3 hour excursion that you can do. Go to the local port that's 8, 10 minutes away from your hotel, Luis, if I remember
Correct.
correctly. It's
Correct.
a 8 minute taxi ride where you can hop on a boat and it takes you right out, and you can do it during the day, you can do it at sunset, you can do it in the morning, depending on what other activities you have planned. It's something that you can do, and that's really amazing. I think that's about it, Luis. I do you have if is there anything you would like to add? Do you have
I
any
just want to
promotions or?
thank you, Cyril, for this opportunity. Thank you, everybody that is behind the computers. Thank you for taking the time to get a little bit of introduction of the island of Tenerife. And of course, best place where you can send your clients is the Ritz Carlton, Abama. Thank you very
Great.
much, and we're
Thank
looking
you,
forward to
Luis.
welcome.
Thank you, everyone, again. And if you need any further information, please visit us at www.traveltotenerife.com. Thank you.